this sucks. At the time of recording this, ESPN has released news stating that Dak Prescott plans to sign his franchise tag by Monday. Now, if you're new to this channel, you may not realize all the reasons why that sucks, but that's what I'm here to talk about today. So in the last two videos on my channel, I have been hyping up the fact that I was working on a big episode of the podcast talking about the Dak Prescott situation and that whole thing. That's scrapped now, so that's kind of a bummer. That whole thing was kind of reliant on the fact that no new news would come out talking about Dak Prescott until I had made that video. It was going to be a video breaking down the deal that Dak Prescott turned down that would make him the highest paid quarterback of all time, and why that would virtually doom the Cowboys forever. Now that's done, so, that's kind of a bummer. And the reason, of course, that news is done is because Dakota freaking Prescott has to go out and state that he's going to sign his franchise tag by Monday morning. Do you realize how bad this hurts me? Do you realize how badly I wanted to make an entire episode of my podcast just bashing the Cowboys and Dak Prescott? But no, now I can't. Thanks a lot, Dak. Alright, let me calm down. I'm done whining now. By Monday morning, the news is that Dak Prescott is supposed to sign his $31.4 million franchise tag to remain with the Dallas Cowboys. This sucks. For so many reasons. This deal would make Dak Prescott the third or fourth highest paid quarterback annually this year. Of course, it's a one-year deal because it's the franchise tag. And that's the main reason why this deal, or this news, sucks so much. It's a one-year deal worth $31.4 million, which is, of course, very expensive for the Cowboys to be paying right now, but this deal does not doom them for the future. I thought for sure that the Cowboys were going to make the biggest mistake of all time and make Dak Prescott the highest paid quarterback in the league for the next 5 years. But no, they didn't. They didn't mess up. Dak Prescott is going to sign this franchise tag. Absolutely a bummer. I thought that this big deal that Dak Prescott was about to get was going to ruin the Cowboys for years to come. Of course, it would allow Dak Prescott to remain with the team, but it was going to guarantee the downfall of the Dallas Cowboys. And that's what my whole episode was going to be about. That, of course, is scrapped now because of this news. So where do we go from here? This deal, or this signing of the franchise tag, means that Dak Prescott has to report to training camp whether or not they work on a long-term extension. Okay, fine, whatever, not huge news. The Cowboys can still work on an extension with him, meaning that they could still make a terrible mistake and sign him to a long-term deal. So let's hope for that. Maybe this whole thing isn't over. Now, the reason I'm saying that they should make the mistake, and why I really want them to make the mistake of signing him to a long-term, very expensive deal, is because we all know Dak's not the guy, right? Like, we watch football, right? On this channel, everyone here watches football. We know Dak's not the guy. We know that, right? You know that all of his best games have been against absolute doormats that he's played, and that Zeke has carried the team since he got there. We know that Dak Prescott's not the guy. He had an incredible team last year, roster-wise, and won them 8 games. So we all know that Dak Prescott is not the guy for the future, and is never going to take them to the promised land by himself. And that's really why I was hoping that the Cowboys would give him his big deal. It was going to doom them. That's what the whole episode is going to be about again. Don't want to get into that anymore. But this deal, if it were to happen, was going to ruin the Cowboys. They've already paid Zeke his $90 million contract. They paid Jalen Smith. They've paid Amari Cooper. They had to let Byron Jones walk in free agency. Signing Dak to an incredibly expensive deal was going to ruin them. Because what that does, when you have that much money tied up into 4 players, it makes it that the rest of your team is going to be virtually garbage. You're not going to be able to pay your offensive line in the future. You're not going to be able to build the rest of the defense. You're not going to retain weapons. They were going to be so doomed. That's why this is so upsetting. I'm really hoping that they work on an extension and give him a huge deal, because they will instantly regret it, I guarantee you, as soon as the first free agent has to walk because Dak Prescott has a huge deal and they're winning 8 to 9 games a season. I pray that they still give him his extension, But right now, this really sucks. Now, of course, if Dak Prescott doesn't get his extension here, that's going to be it, right? They either have to extend him or sign him when his franchise tag deal is done this upcoming offseason and sign him like they would any other free agent. So this is, if they don't get an extension done, his last chance. He has to prove himself here. He's going to have to win more than 8 games to prove that he's worth that deal, which he is not. We all know that, right? He's a decent quarterback, like an average quarterback. He's not Mahomes. He's not one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. He's probably not even top 10. So this tag basically means that it's his prove it year. He has to ball out this season. So upsetting. Really just wanted to see them pull the trigger and make a huge mistake right now. Oh well. Looks like that might be over for now. Let's just hold out hope that they give him a big extension. So that's pretty much it. That's my quick reaction. Absolutely bummed. Really wanted them to make that mistake. If the Cowboys still want to do that, please do it. I'm begging you. Just give them that big deal. I'd love to see it happen. If you guys would still like to see an episode based around the Dak Prescott situation and why he specifically doesn't deserve that money, leave a comment and let me know, or DM me on Instagram and let me know that you guys would still like to see that video. I'm going to scrap it for right now because it really doesn't apply anymore with the fact that he's signing the franchise tag. Maybe if he does sign a long-term extension, I'll make that video, but as of right now, I'm going to scrap it. Let me know if you would still like to see it. Other than that, if you like the show, remember to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Follow the show on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Download, share the show, give it a listen. Watch all the other episodes of the show. Follow me on Instagram at nyfg.show and on Twitter at @thenyfgshow. And that's pretty much it. Dak Prescott's overrated. I'm out.